crash and burn for internet issues or whatever. Good to be back with you guys. I'll do some Q&A, so I'll jump into the comments and see what you guys are saying and respond to some of that. But first and foremost, what brings me to hang out with you guys one-on-one is I was texting with a friend today, and I was feeling a little insecure and about something I'll get to in just a moment. Not a common feeling for me, but hey, I'm human. I was having it. I'll get to that. But he gave me such awesome advice, such awesome advice. I felt like I can't possibly hoard all this just for me, because some of you jokers out there are going to immediately latch onto that. You'll grow from it. You'll be better from it. So I don't want to hoard that wisdom. I'm going to give it to you as well. And so it basically comes like this. I've sent out my book to a bunch of like key friends and top shelf influencers, people who lead lots of folks. And right out of the gate, I've gotten really good reviews. But I'm like, do I have a good book, or do I have really good friends who are just sweet on me? It was like, hey, it's John. We love John. We'll promote whatever he's doing. I'm like, no, I want to know. And there's a certain amount of insecurity of something I've worked on for a couple years, and then all of a sudden it's out there. It's like I can't fix it anymore. I can't adjust it. And I don't know. I was just kind of like, I'll pick it up, and sometimes I'm reading it and I'm like, man, this is awesome. And then other times I'm like, I suck. And so you just have those moments where you're like, I don't know how this will be well received. But this guy leads thousands and thousands of men. His name's Josh McPherson. He's out in Washington State, pastors a church called Grace City Church, Wenatchee. So James already pre-ordered it. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. Anyway, I was just giving him some of these thoughts. I'm like, I'm wondering, do I have a good book or do I have good friends? And he says it like this. There may not be anything more personal than writing a piece of work and putting it out there public. You're saying, this is my best work, these are my best thoughts, and this is what I see and what I think and how I say it. That in itself is a vulnerable act, which makes it a courageous act. Thank you, Josh. I like that. It kind of starts with an attaboy and then ends with like this huge weight dropped on my shoulders. But anyway, you guys will like this. Here we go. In other words, you're about to drive a stake in the ground publicly in a way that you've never done before. And I say, thanks be to God. So you want honest feedback? I'll give it. I got home late last night, saw it and thought, yay. Picked it up, read the intro, skimmed the chapters, read the closing. And here was my honest thought. It sounds just like John. For some of you, that may be a bad thing, but he meant it as a good. He says, bro, that's the point. To your question above, are people saying it's good because it's a good book, or is it good because it's you? Are they just being sentimental? Are they just being polite and nice? And my answer is yes. You being you is what makes it good. In other words, I don't separate the book from the man. This is where all of you guys should be leaning in and be like, this is the good nugget. This is the good thing. Anyway, here we go. You'll see who you are, your virtue, courage, character, ethos, passion, humor, conviction, along with your relentless pursuit of competency as a man is what makes the book good. I don't care to air that and be like, yay. For me, it has to do with what I glean looking at other books and looking at other ideas. So he says, if John Lovell says it, I'm going to listen, not because the book has proven the test of time. We won't know that for many years, or maybe even in his lifetime, but because the man proved the test of time. And this is the big weight that all of us should feel here, which means your work is actually just beginning. Said another way, how valuable would the book be in 5 years if you made $1 zillion in Warrior Poet Society, but lost your marriage and your boys hate you? And then he says something so true. He says, your book would be less than toilet paper. And that's absolutely right. Of like, how do you measure the success of a man? It certainly isn't just in the movement he leads, or how much money he makes, or the size of his enterprise. I would put far more weight as a 41-year-old man on his family. What does his wife say about him? What does his kids say about him? What do those closest to him say about him? What does my team, what do my employees say about him? The people who know me best, what do they think? And so he's got a really good point now. So he goes on. So now the key becomes, Continue living into the kind of warrior way vision you articulated in the book. Love Becca, that's my wife, for the next 40 years in a way that makes the book ring all the more true when all of your other fire breathing army buddies have blown up their marriages. Love your two precious sons in a way that makes other dads look at the men they become and want to know what made their dad tick. Love Jesus in such a compelling way that makes other men dominated by lesser desires stop and think, what does he see in Jesus that I'm missing? The test won't be how the book does year one. The test is how the man does at the finish line 40 years from now. That's the goal to keep your eyes on. So yes, in some ways, the work is done. You finished the book. But in a deeper way, the work is just beginning. Live out the vision of it. Know you're on record. Know it's in black and white. Now comes the time to prove your book's thesis. There is a warrior poet way, and walking in it bring a sense of satisfaction and joy and fulfillment to the warrior, and goodness and goodness and beauty to a world that is not on the path of the weak and cowardly self-centered man. The courage it takes to do that is what makes the book good. So is the book good? I don't know. Is the man good? And from where I sit, the answer is yes. Now keep living like that, bro. Wake up tomorrow and make the book true until the day, until the day you die. Typo. I forgive him. I'll see you on the battlefield. Sword drawn, dragon blood everywhere. Smile on our faces, joy in our hearts, a haughty laugh on our lips. Family and community behind us, protected and loved to the end. What a life. Thanks be to God. So is the book good? That now depends on you. I'll be praying for you. I love you to the end. That's a good friend. That's a real good friend. And he's right. He's right. If I'm bad, the book's crap. But if it works, if I live this way in the test of time, then the book's good. And so anyway, that was a good thing. I just went to Egypt with about like 60 warrior poets. Now I do 2 vacations a year, 2 big vacations a year. I take my kids with me on most of them and my wife. And that's the way I prefer to do it. We have like all this group buying power. So we got like tour buses, and restaurants are already waiting on us, and 5-star amenities, and you don't have to plan or think. And so it's my preferred way I do vacations, is to go with you guys and just hang out on the buses and talk and chat. I say all that to say that as I've got my kids right next to me and my wife, and I'm interacting with everybody, sitting with you, doing everything with you, there's not an ability for me to hide. Meaning if I got a crap marriage, or my kids are little rebellious brats that nobody likes, everyone is keenly aware of whether I'm just talking fluff, whether I'm just, talking a big game, or whether I really am doing what I preach. You can't hide for 2 weeks living every moment with a whole big group of strangers. You can't do it. And so a lot of folks, I got so many compliments, especially on the end of the trip, that my kids are awesome. And my wife is awesome. My mom even came on this last trip. And so it's like a big family affair. And so anyway, it was really, really fun. But that's what I'm thinking through today. And more so than ever, of like when I look at a book, I want to know about the person that wrote it. Particularly if it's like, hey, here's how to do life, here's how to do marriage, here's how to do war, here's how to do family, here's how to do education. I want to know more about the person. And so people ask me sometimes, of what books do you recommend? And I don't really recommend books. I usually recommend authors. Like I find a good author, and if the author wrote it, I'm like, well, whatever it does is good. Anthony Esolen, of like, that dude seems like an awesome writer. So whatever he touches is good. And, if the dead people are safe because their legacy is already sealed. So, Spurgeon or Lewis or Milton or Goethe, of like any of these things, it's like it's already there in the past. There's no new scandals that are going to be hitting. And so, anyway, I'll recommend dead authors usually, but it matters a great deal to me now that I don't want to just hear platitudes. I'm so jaded by all these, politicians who promise something, who pretend to have virtue, and they took the suitcase of money. I'm like, you guys are a bunch of frauds. I'm sick of it. I want real, raw. I want something that works. I want to be able to trust people. I want folks with courageous virtue, and that's who I want to follow. And so, anyway, that's my thoughts for today. I want to jump into some comments here and see what you guys have got going on. Anthony is cringing. Grown men don't cringe, bro. Anthony, stop cringing. It's not a thing grown men do. Crab says, Braveheart, I've always thought. Braveheart's awesome. American Sniper, The Life of Chris Kyle, true hero. Marcus Aurelius in the Stoics. I like some parts of Stoicism and am repulsed by others. I think the Christian worldview has the benefits of Stoicism with none of the weaknesses. And so it's like, Stoicism has nothing to offer me that I cannot find in the Old and New Testament. And so that's where I generally ascribe. I mean, I've read Meditations, I've read Seneca, I've read these guys. And so there's definitely stuff in there that I appreciate. MW says, grown men have beards. You suck, bro. We did this hilarious skit yesterday for a medical video, and I had to shave for that skit. The wife also likes it, but you'll see it'll probably come out next week. Hilarious skit. I had a fake mustache on, and we were just in stitches. Could barely get through the ad, or through the skit. So anyway. Yep, C.S. Lewis. Joshua Rain says C.S. Lewis, all of his books. Yes, I've read 27 of C.S. Lewis's books. Spurgeon, I read his lectures to my students, and his spiritual warfare book, and a whole bunch of, I've read tons of it. Jonathan Edwards, read a ton of his stuff. Let's see, what else? I named my Jeep Warrior Poet Jeep, awesome. Band of Brothers, great series. Stephen just ordered the book and is going with it with an SF buddy. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. I still want my black belt. The brown one doesn't work with my code of what's happening. Hey, brother. Good to see you. We touched base in Egypt, and so that's a funny joke. Good to see you, man. We had a blast with you and your bride. Let's see. Warrior Poet Society Network. Some people are like, hey, what about a Bible study on there? I'll think about it. I'm just like, I don't know if I'm the guy for the job. Of like, I'd love to do that, but man, folks get pretty upset on some theological nuance, and I would rather have a pastor or theologian kind of navigate that. I'd like to add to the conversation, but not necessarily. I'll pray about it. I don't know. Yeager would say you are wrong. Thanks, Subby. Yes, he would. Rest in peace, my dear friend James. I miss James all the time. All the time I'll think of James Yeager and miss him. Some of you guys only knew him through his online persona, which can be grating, but I knew the man. And I really love James. So let's see. All right, what else, guys? Looking at the comments. Grow a stash? No way. No way. I want my wife to want me, not be repulsed by me. Doing jiu-jitsu with my pastor after I started watching you guys. Good. Jiu-jitsu is awesome. Let's see. Still looking for employment within your company as a firearms instructor or as a martial arts instructor. Thanks, man. Go to our careers page if you ever want to apply with us. We don't have any positions open right now. The training department, we may always be looking because we have got a lot of demand to get in our classes. but we are wildly picky with the instructors that we hire. And Paul, our battle gnome, is in charge of hiring instructors, and I'll help him out. But it's really his, and he is very protective as well because we have a sacred trust between you guys out there. If we say it, then you believe it, and we deliver that this is amazing training content, world class, as good as it gets. And that's the standard. And so if that's you, that's awesome. We make you jump through a hoop that you have to do a resume, but you also have to do a video resume. So, and then meet us in person. So anyway, we want more instructors. We're just crazy picky. What happened with the big giveaway? We're still doing the giveaway. Giveaway last year, we gave out all the prizes. If you didn't get one, you didn't win. But we'll do one soon. So party on. Is it okay to email a couple names? Put in like your neighbor who's into guns but doesn't know us. You know, put in something like that. Don't just your 5 email addresses. Is it okay to defraud us? Nero, I don't know when it's coming back. Soon, I hope. Let's see. Lead as Legion in the next 3 years. It's awkward. I have to read real fast. Hold on. How do you encourage someone to break out of a loser lifestyle? No goals, no respect for their health, just unchecked hedonism. Let me read that again. That's a really good. How do you encourage someone to break out of a loser lifestyle? No goals, no respect for their health, just unchecked hedonism. Fantastic question. So first off, the hedonistic life is hollow and empty, and you can fool yourself for a while chasing pleasure and all those lesser happiness but really joy, and there's a hollowness, and it doesn't take someone long to realize that they're miserable. The hedonist is absolutely miserable, and therefore they drink their lives away and they forget their real life in a fog of revelry that just makes you absolutely hollow and miserable. And so that type of person is escaping a life that they don't want, whether it's just plowing into 10 hours of video games a day or just binge watching TV shows, trying to just check out through work. It's an unmotivated, unfulfilling lifestyle. You can't do anything really for that person. You can't make them want to wake up necessarily. But if it is you, I think you start by changing some unhealthy habits for some healthier ones. And I think you would end up getting some wonderful benefits from that would be highly desirous to, and urge you to do more and more of that. And that'd be fantastic. You don't want to feel like a worthless slob. And so when you start doing stuff that impacts your fellow man, that betters you, that starts getting rid of, your big beer gut, your apathetic lifestyle, and you start to, I guess, as Jordan Peterson says, stand up straight with your shoulders back. That is of greater value and feels a lot better than the temporary pleasure of checking out for a bunch of junk food, video games, and TV stuff. And I say, hey, just make a conscious decision as a very start to change out one unhealthy habit for one healthy habit. And just start there, and then you just add more and more and more and more. And I think that would be a good thing. You don't have to be a loser. You don't have to stay a loser. But you're not going to just wake up from that accidentally. It's not just going to happen for you. You got to get out and do something. You're going to do something different. Noam says, do more videos with the wife. I always find those to be some of your best videos. Thank you so much. It's always fun to see what people like and what people don't like. What some folks will think is the best video. Other people like, shut up, stick to guns. And so a little something for everyone here. Let's see, what else? Live life on purpose. Yep, absolutely. Hey, John, WPSN founding member here. Thanks, Cheyenne. Appreciate it. Love what you do and point everyone to your work to masterfully articulate what I struggle to make words for. Keep it up. Will do. John says, I have medical training as well, usually from accidentally causing disasters, but nonetheless. That's fantastic. If any of you have accident-prone friends, you should absolutely do medical stuff. You and T-Rex Arms should do a video together. That would be fantastic. I pinged Lucas a while ago of I wanted to debate him on video games because he's got some good points on how video games are a good thing, and I've got some good points on how video games are not as wise of a thing. And I'm more of a moderation guy. Me and my sons, when it rains outside and I'm home and all chores and homeschool has been done, then we'll break out the Wii and we'll play the James Bond GoldenEye. And so there's epic slayings. And so we do a little bit of video games, but anyway, I wanted to debate him on that. Railroad says, are there still spots for the Italy trip? Man, jump on it really quick. It may be closing any day if it hasn't already. Just check out the website. Trips are there. We're doing an Italy, Austria, Switzerland trip. In 2024, my 2 vacations are this. We'll do an England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales trip, and then we'll do, we'll do a Greece trip. And so we'll visit ancient Sparta and some of the ancient churches and all Athens, that stuff. Let's see what else. Grand Thumb collab. I'm good with it. He's on the other side of the country, so we got to put calendars together. Quit saying politics, guys. I hate politics. The Lord would have to descend on a cloud and tell me to do politics. He would have to tell me to do politics. I despise it. And I have no desire to do politics. However, I do recognize politics is really important and we need good warrior poets in that arena. I've got this platform. I'm stewarding this platform and I can reach all of you saying whatever I want without compromise. I'm not beholden to constituents or donors or anything like that. I just say whatever I want. Somebody just said sword, so I'll lift this up. This is a William Wallace-ish claymore. Pretty awesome. No, it's not. No, this is not. That is at the office. The claymore is completely different. This is like a Knights Hospitaller's sword. So pretty cool. And this one's real. So I like that. What happened to Evan? Evan has moved on and we wish him well in wherever he decides to go. Whatever happened to Project Nemesis? I got too busy, man. Project Nemesis was a sub-channel that we broke out, and I thought that I could just make quick little videos that could be low-hanging fruit, and then it just didn't perform very well, and so I just put it to the side, and then we started doing the network, and I'm like, yeah, that's the better way to do that. So WPSN is Project Nemesis, so it's just a better name. Any chance you do a book signing in Texas? Man, if you find me with a book, I will sign it. I don't know what the team has planned for book signings and stuff. So, but I'm happy to do that. This is a ripoff. This isn't actually the real book. The real book is a hardcover, much nicer than this. So this is the unedited, the uncorrected advanced manuscript. So I don't even have the real one, but I got gypped because this one has not been signed by the author, which I think is a ripoff. I think I should get a signed one, but they just sent me that one. So Penguin is a bunch of cheapskates for that, right? This is a terrible dad joke. So let's see. Why do you have the sword? Because besides the fact it's cool as heck. I got the sword because we were doing a skit where we did like this knight's battle and we got full armor. It's over on WPSN. So we ended up having this epic, full battle dress, and we put it in a War Poet episode, our TV show. And that's why I have this. But I bought other swords just because I'm like, I want a sword. You know, dudes want swords. You guys, all of y'all want swords, except maybe not the samurai sword. But samurai swords are better. They're amazing. They're awesome. There's something kind of nerdy about it to me, and I'm just not ready to go down that route. So I don't have any samurai swords. Now, if it was a Tori Hanzo blade, as was mentioned in Kill Bill, I absolutely want that. So that's good. All right, moving through. I'm going to answer just a few more songs. McClure says, why can the pony not sing? I'll tune in and let's see why the pony cannot sing. This is a dad joke for sure. McClure Outdoor. Type it fast, man, or we got to move on. The man likes swords, but not shotguns. So, no, I like shotguns. The next video that we have launching next week is 5 reasons why everyone should own a shotgun. And I have an intro montage. I'm starting to get back to some of the funny intros, and we're having so much fun with it now that some stuff got cleared off my plate. And it is super duper funny. It is really, really funny. So, yeah. All right, let's see if I want the other half of this dad joke. I'm not seeing it. Bro, you left us hanging. I don't see it. I don't see it. All right, guys. Oh, let's see, dad joke. I tripped over a shrub today. I think it was an ambush. You clever dog. I will let you have the very last word for today. Love dad jokes. Hey, love to all you guys. You guys are forces for good in a world that has gone sideways. Is evil, twisted times we live in. And the world's made better because of you, courageous virtue on fire. So I appreciate y'all. I will see you next time. Later, guys.